Okay. So now let's start the discussion. Why girls, you are not, nobody opened the book, just sitting like when we go to the function, waiting for food arrangement at 7 o'clock like that. Only just a bag, cell phone like that. Only few people are opened the books. Any function? No? So let's start the discussion now. So previously we started with, started with, oops. What are the OOPS principles? Classes. Rao sir. Okay. Shall we start now? You want this one? Are you getting air of this? Getting? Okay. Sit there. Just okay. Let us start the discussion now. So in the previous session, I started with the OOPS and the principles of OOPS we started. How many are there? Yes. Can you spell out once? Classes, objects, data encapsulation, message passing. So now I'm entering into the most important topic called classes. So yesterday is supposed to start, but somehow class timing was completed. Now I'm going to introduce the classes. So don't take much time. It's already, we have some awareness about these classes. We are going to start with. So first I will tell you what is the purpose of class. And next we'll talk about just the 5 points I will tell you. Anybody ask you about the class in any of the language, whether it is Java or Python or C#.NET or any of the object-oriented programming, if they ask about what is the concept of class, we have to tell about these 5 points and we need to go for what? Definition of class. Definition of class we will explain. Okay, let us start about it. There I am going to discuss about syntax for defining a class and all those things I will discuss. Let me start the concept of what? Class. Shall we start off? Yes. Let me start explaining about class concept. Simple. Suppose, as we discussed already in the classes, how many data types we have? How many data types we have? 14 data types are there. 14 data types are available. All 14 data types are called what? Classes. They are all called what? Classes. They are all called classes. With the int class, you can store which data? Int data. Float, bool, complex, and list, str, different type of classes are there. Each one is having its own purpose. Today, my requirement is to store. My requirement is there to store data as follows. My requirement is to store the data as follows. What I want to store? SNO. Next with what? SName. Next with marks. Next with marks. Okay. Next I will go for what? C marks. Next CPP marks. And next is called OS marks. I just want to store. And I need functions like this. I need functions like what, get stud data of STUD data of display, STUD data of next calculate TOT marks, calculate TOT marks, decide grade, decide grade. These are the functions of mine. This is the data I want to store. This is the data I want to store. And this is the functions I need. These are the functions I need. These are the functions I need. And this is the data I want to store. Is there any of my class will do this? Not getting. So let us coming to the point back. I want to store number and name. This is, I hope you are having clarity. How do you do that? LST is equal to 100. Next is called ROSUM, and next is called some 80 and some 60, and next is some 40. These are the marks. This is LST. Okay. You are storing LST allows us to store what? Multiple values of same type, different type, both the types, unique, duplicate, all of them in single object. Well, LST can. Somebody came newly today class. Some leg came, iron leg came to the class. Who is that? Okay. Students, now my window is. So now I'm going to online students, just hold on for few seconds because just now power issue came. So yesterday, Rians came, Rians. Today also came. He's saying, sir, I want to learn Python, sir. I compulsory. You said you don't come. You said, go to school. You said, no, sir, I want to come. I asked Rians, Rians, why you are strongly decided? His brother is working in some company. He is my student in 2 years back. And you don't want to complete BTech and all. You want to complete now only. After 10th class, you want to work as a software engineer. That is his dream. Immediately Swati is there. She is a student. Sir, remove that student, she said today. So why that girl is reacting on that student, I don't know. So his intention we have to respect. Correct or not? So after BTech, all these things, why sir, after 10th class can I become? Because he read in one paper, 10th class student become data scientist. That is already in HCL, they gave that opportunity to 10th class student as a data scientist. So why can't I become, he's saying. So I said, if you are too interested, you can learn, I said. So we have to respect every person dream or not. See. So now that's why your chance is not there. For you, chance is not there. Your future generation, 7th class onwards, make them to learn Python. Okay. Fine. Come to the point. Now move to the students. LST is equal to, this is my data. In LST, I said almost, how many functions I said? 12 functions I said to you, right? In the 12 functions, these functions are not there. Do you have such functions there? No. So STR class you take it. STR also does not have these functions. Dict you take it, dict. Dict also does not have these functions. These are called what? Our own functions. Our own functions. Do you have such functions in list class, tuple class, set class and all? No. Moreover, my interest is not to store like that. If I call one layman, what is 100? What is RS? What is 80, 60, 40? This a layman cannot understand. He can't say that it is a student number. So if you want to store with more readability, what you will do, students? SNO colon what? 100. Next is called what you know? Name colon what you know? RS. Next is called what you know? CM colon what? 80. Next is called what you know? CPPM colon what you know? 60. And next is called what you know? OS marks. OSM is equal to what? You know, 40. 40. This is readable. Okay. What is 40? They will say OS marks. But my requirement is like this. What is that? X is equal to, my requirement is like this. What I want to say? SNO is equal to 100. Next is called what? Name is equal to what? RS. Name is equal to RS. CM is equal to some 80. 80. Next is called 80. Next is called what here? CPPM. CPPM is equal to 60. Next is called what you know? OSM is equal to some 40. Is it possible to store in the dictionary like that? No. So, plus I want to store like that. Our dictionary never supports, list never supports, nothing will support. This is what I am saying today. Here, X is called what? X is called what? Come on, guys. Object. From the day one onwards, we are seeing where you can store the data. Object. To create an object, what we need? That awareness is there for us. What is the class I am going to tell you today? Just that knowledge you carry on. To store the data in Python, what we need? Object. Behind object, what you require? Class. Here, what is X? Behind object X, what is required? Which class this X belongs to? Is it a dictionary? No. Is it a list? No. Is it any of the 14 data types? No. So I need to design my own data type. My own class I want to develop. That is known as what? My own class I want to develop. To develop my own class is nothing but what? Development of which data type? Programmer defined data types. How to develop your own data type? Developing your own data type is nothing but making your own class. Such a type of concept is built by using which concept? Classes concept. Because of your own data storage, which is known as what you know, customization of the data. So this is known as what? Customized storing, customization of customized data storing, customized data storage, customized data storage. Plus I'm doing what? On the customized data, I want to do my own operations. These are called what? Customized operations. Customized operations. Customized operations performed by what? Come on fast. Functions. Customized operations performed by using what? Functions. Customized data, if you want to store what I need? Object. To create an object, what is required? Class. Is there any this object notation to store like this? No. In order to store my own data like this, definitely you need to have your own class. Developing your own class is nothing but what? Developing your own data type, which is known as which data type? Programmer defined data type. Once again, I will repeat. Heading called what? Data types. How many data types are there? 14. All the data types are for what? Classes. Their objects allows us to store the data. How the data is? According to their prescribed format. According to my own format. Do you have any class like this? So you need to build your own class or not? That class is called which class? Programmer defined class. That is known as what? Programmer defined data type. So who will make us to develop the programmer defined data type? Classes concept. Tell me, what is the use of classes concept? The purpose of first question will come in interview point of view. 100% will come. What is the use of class? So far, of course, don't feel that. You ask any student, what is the use of class? They won't say use. Class is a collection of objects, they will say. And you also know that only, but actual meaning of class is for this purpose. The purpose of which concept? Classes concept. Classes concept is that to develop, come on, programmer defined data type, programmer defined data type, programmer defined data types, plus to build real-time application, to build a real-time application. Are you able to follow? To build a real-time application. So this part, if you want to understand, wait for one more day. I will tell you that. Are you able to follow me? What is the use of development of programmer defined data types? I will write that also. The purpose of developing programmer defined data types is that to, to store customized data, to store customized data, plus to perform what? Customized operations. Customized operations. Customized operations. Who will perform operations in our programming of Python? Functions. Functions. Plus what is that now? Customized data. To store customized data, what do you need? Object. Object require what? Class. That class is developed by you people. That's why it is known as what? Programmer defined data type. These two sentences, if you are able to say properly, they will have special impression about you. What is the use of classes? The purpose of classes concept is to develop programmer defined data types plus to develop real-time application. Meaning of real-time application, now only I will tell you. Suppose, for example, read employee details from keyboard and insert into the database. How you wrote it? In the form of functions, correct? In the form of functions we have written now. The same code I will write in where? Oops. To start with the oops, you have to first and foremost important concept is class concept is compulsory. Class concept is compulsory. So classes concept, if you start any application in Oops, you have to start with what? Classes concept. That's why every real-time application in Oops starts with what? Classes. Because some of the worst websites and most of them, Oops features, they will tell only 4. They will tell only these 4. See some of the websites, they will say only 4. Even some of the people will say only 4. Then you ask one straightforward question and then tell them they don't know anything. Suppose I want to write inheritance program. Program using inheritance is called one Oops principle. How do you write the program using inheritance? Compulsory you need which concept? Class. Compulsory. If you want to deal with any of these 3, 4, 5, 6, first 2 are compulsory. Then what are the first 2 called then? If you say Oops features are only 4, what about the first 2 called? If we want to do say 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, a small application you want to develop, compulsory you have to start with what only? Without classes and object, it is not possible. Because in training divisions, if you listen now, anything they will tell. They will say they are president of America also, they will say. If you listen, if you say, oh, yes, sir, you are really president, means they will say something else they will say. So that's why don't accept everything unless and until they show on the screen. Okay, now. So if they say that these are the 3, you straightforward ask one question. Sir, please write one Python program using polymorphism. Compulsory they will use the word called what? Then you can ask me, what is that class then? To store the data compulsory, what do you need? Object. Then you can ask what is that object is. That's why some reality is required when you are learning something. Okay, anyhow, follow my guidelines strictly. Are you able to understand these 2 sentences? First, theme is important. Later, coding is what? Dead easy. Next, to develop, see students, to develop programmer defined data types, programmer defined data types by using which concept? Which concept? Classes concept. We use, see, hold on. We use one keyword. To develop functions, which keyword we will use? DEF. To develop lambda functions, which keyword you will use? Lambda. Correct? To develop classes concept, which keyword I will use? Huh? Madhubabalu. To develop functions, which keyword we will use? DEF. To develop lambda, which keyword you will use? To develop classes concept, which keyword you will use? Class. What is a class? Now I am writing. We use class keyword. Class keyword. Now I'll show one practical proof for you. Suppose if an interviewer is asking, what is a class? I will ask one question, sir, one request. Are you asking purpose of class? Huh? Are you asking class called class keyword? Huh? Are you asking definition of class? Huh? What is your question? Nothing wrong. You are getting clarity from the interviewer. Interviewer will feel, okay, nothing I want, you know everything you will say. Because when you are asking these many points in the class means what? You are perfect. Go to the Python environment. Go to the Python environment once. I'll go to this place. Look at my dear students. I will write it. Help, help, str. What is str? str is a stringer. మీరు రెడీగా ఉన్నారు ఇప్పుడు చెప్పడానికి. వాట్ ఈజ్ ఎస్టీఆర్ అంటే స్ట్రింగ్ అనడానికి. When you just say, I'll throw it out of the class. What is str? Class. Already you know str, almost 6 hours I said. See that students, please look at class str. What is str? Come on, help on class str. In what? Built-ins module. What is the built-ins? Module. What is the definition of module? A module is a collection of global variables, function names, class names. What is my class name here? Present in which module? How the definition they written? Class str. Object. ఇది చదవకండి, నేను చెప్పింది చదవండి. Don't do overaction. Class str. Under that, you see that here some functions are there. You see already you learned in the class. You learned in the class. What is that? Capitalize, center, still count. There are so many number of things are there. Encode, decode, all these things will come. Is ALNUM, is alpha. So many things you learned or no? You learned so many things. These are all the functions we discussed in the class. If you open the documentation after going to home, you try to do everything. All those things are done. Open the documentation and see that everything I taught to you. You are almost equal to the PSF developer you are, provided if you read my notes. If you don't read the notes now, you are almost equal to senior citizen you are. Take care. What do you want to become? Now come on to next. Help of what? Int. What is int? Class. What is this class? Int present in which model? So to develop any class on your own, to develop predefined classes, they use which keyword? Class. To develop your own class, you are also using which keyword? Class. Enough? Huh? Did you understand this now? Now, come on, how simple it is. Now I'm going to tell you about what is int. Class. A is equal to str of, what is A? Object of which class? Good. B is equal to what? Int of, what is A? What is B? Object of which class? So what is this str, int, etc. are called? Class names. Class names. Today I am writing x is equal to what, you know? Employee, emp of. What is this emp of? Which class it is? Is it already there in our Python library? No. Who developed it? Python programmer developed. That's why it is known as what? Programmer defined data type. All classes in Python are called predefined classes, are called data types or not? In this analogy, in str place emp is there. In int place emp is there. Emp is called what? Programmer defined class name. It is also treated as what? Class name. B is equal to what? Bag of. B is equal to bag of. What is the bag here? Every class name is treated as what? Programmer defined data type. Shall I write that now? So now tell me, come on here. Every programmatically I will write programmatically, every class name is treated as Treated as what? 1 minute. Treated. Treated as programmer defined data type. Programmer defined data type. Clear up? Yes. How they developed it? How they develop class int they written, correct? Class str they written, class list they written, class tuple they written, class dict they written, something like that. Class emp, class student, class faculty, class teacher, class book. What these are all called? Programmer defined data type. Now, every Python program, when you are entering into OOPS, you have to start with the concept of what? Class. Now I am writing every Python program in OOPS. I am writing in OOPS. In OOPS. Every Python program must starts with which concept? Classes concept. Classes concept. Without classes concept, there is no OOPS level program exist. In the bracket, in other words, without what? Classes concept. Without classes concept, there is no, without classes concept, there is no Python program. You have seen already in the class. Just now I opened the documentation also. Understand, students? Now see, go to the last and final. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to show you one more thing. I just going on pressing enter key here. Now I'm going to take up help of what? Help of what? List. What is the list? Class. Present in which module? Built-ins module. See ma, how beautiful it is. Now go on seeing that. You just observe it. After going to home, you just sit quiet and calm. Append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, everything I taught. Just if you look at my notes and PSF documentation are one and equal. Just student, sort of everything is there. Everything is written. Sort of everything is written. So reverse self today, self. Even in my index also self is there or not? How they are working? Remove, pop, insert, index, extend, count, everything I taught. What is this underscore functions? I will tell you in the encapsulation and abstraction for you. Tell me for my satisfaction. Inside the class, who is present? Student even inside of the objects. Don't bring out your old knowledge. Very danger, virus that is. Inside the class, what are these called? Functions. Inside the class, who is present? Functions. Functions will do what? Operations. On where? Objects. Objects contains what? Data. So now I am going to come to the one beautiful answer. Definition of class I am going to tell. Shall I go to that? Anybody ask the concept of class? You tell that 5 points. When you tell 5 points with the practically showing this now, they'll feel you are perfect student. Anything you speak, show practically. Anything you speak, show practically. Understand? Let's move. Definition of class. I will tell you with more important things. And Lebanon, black t-shirt, black shirt, sleeping. Yesterday also, today also. Let's stand up. Listen the class for a few minutes with stand up. Sleeping or not? Nijan Jappu. Listening clearly. Tell me about concept of class. You are listening, for example. Tell me the concept of class. 2 points you tell me. 5 points I said. 2 points you tell me. Don't move your eyes to the board. You look at me and say. Start. 1 point you tell me. Sleeping. Thinking about outside. Then without thinking outside, without sleeping, what are you doing? Meditation? Huh? Doing meditation? Tell me. My dear student, listen the class. Sit down. Now come to the point. Definition of what? Class. What is the definition of class I am going to take? Take an example. See students, in order to store the data, I have to think about a data storage formula I have to design or not. Suppose I want to build one bag. ఒక బ్యాగ్ తయారు చేయాలనుకున్నాం. I want to build a bag. to build a bag, before stitching the bag, some measurements required or not? What is that? In that bag, you imagine all of you, in that bag, I want 3 portions. One portion is to keep laptop. One portion is to keep books. Another portion is required to put the tiffin box. Another portion is required to put your mobile, charger, etc. So in the bag, how many partitions I am expecting? 4. What is that? Bag is not stitched. That is called what? In my mind, it is called a class. It is my plan. With that plan only, implementation can take place. So in order to have that physical bag where 4 portions are required, definitely what is required? Some formula required or not? With that formula, I can start implementing. That formula, what I have in my brain, what I am developed in my brain is called class. That implementation where I am giving to somebody to prepare it is called what? Object. My plan is with 4 partitions. When I implement it to somebody to stitch it, same that plan is available physically or not? So are you storing your 4 components in the physically stitched one? In the brain, what I am having a brain. So I have in my brain 4 partitions bag is there. That is called what? A kind of logical thinking. That I said to somebody, they implemented, they gave a bag to you in the hand. In your hand, some physical bag is there. In your brain, some type of logical bag is there. Where are you keeping your books? Physical bag or logical bag? That physical bag is coming from where? Logical thinking only now. So where are you storing? In the brain you are storing your books or in the physical bag? That physical bag is called what? Object. Behind that object, to have this object, what is required? That physical thinking, logical thinking is required or not? That logical thinking, that formula to build the physical bag is called what? Class. And the physical bag which you got in your hand where you are keeping your books is called what? Object. In order to build this bag with 4 partitions, require one thought or not? That thought is called what? Class. That implementation is called what? Come on. Object. Just now I shown you. Class I said. What is the class? List. List. This is a list now. This is called a list, right or not? Are you storing inside of this class? No. Where are you storing? In the object. Create. L is equal to what? List of. What is this L1 is called? Object. What is L1? What is this list called? Class. Is it designed already or not? Yes. Then I can store the data in list object. In order to create an object, what is required? Class is required. Without creating class, can you create an object? See, L1, K1 is equal to KVR. I am saying error. What error? Like a list, I am taking KVR. KVR is called what? Class. List is called class. If no error came, here error will come. What is that error? Name error. What is that? KVR is not defined. Because what is KVR? It don't know. What is KVR? Don't know. My PVM don't know what is KVR. That's why what is error? Name error. Now I'm going to say something like L2 is equal to list of. I wrote it. Also error is coming because my class name is what? Small L, but I am using what? Capital L. That means in order to create an object, what is compulsory? Class is compulsory. Correct or not? Are you getting what I'm talking? In order to create an object, what is required? Class. What is the class definition I'm going to say? Whatever you are thinking in the list, same thing you can store it in list. Whatever I'm thinking about my bag, how my bag should come, same thing will come in the physical stitching of the bag also. Correct or not? Suppose Honda people want to release a car. Directly will they come to that hardware shop and will they build the car? Never. First they will do what? They will build the model. They will study the customer requirements. They will build the model. Will you sit in that model and you will enjoy? No, that is a model is nothing but a logical existence. There they are saying two passengers, one co-passenger, one driver, AC events, and you will say lot of airbags and everything they will design. That is called a logical existence only. It is treated as a class. They will send it to what? Manufacturing unit. According to that, they will create one physical car. To park this car, you need some space to store or not. You can sit inside of it and you can enjoy that model. This is known as what here? Object. To create this physical car, they need one type of formula or not. That formula is called what? Whatever the events they said, same thing will be coming in physical car also. Correct or not? That means to store the data, you have to tell what type of data you want to store. To do the operations, you have to tell what type of functions you need. Last and final. Last and final. This is called your house. You want to construct your house. And your design, you are telling your taste to that, you are telling to your taste to that civil architect. My land is bigger. My land is bigger. I want the compound wall for my entire house. I want bed 1, bed 2, bed 3. I want separate open kitchen. I want some separate puja and I want some dining separate. And this is called a drawing. This is called something like a sit out. And then this is 3 beds I require. And this is what is my house. And this is a door of this. And all sorts of things you are telling to your things. And according to your taste and things, they will say, here some operation you will do, here some operation you will do, here some operation you will do. According to your requirement only your house will come out or not. This is called what? Class. And this you are giving to the builder and that builder will construct exactly like what you are expecting. This is known as what here? So to create an object, what do you need? So in the class, what are you telling? You are telling what to store. What to store. That means which data you are storing. You tell the data member names. Data member names are nothing but after all variables. After all variables. That is nothing but a bag with 4 compartments. This is a data member 1, data member 2, data member 3, data member 4. Plus, in this place you keep the books. In this place you go for saying that is nothing but what operations you want to do. That everything you are specifying in where? That thing, whatever you are writing inside of the class, same thing will reflect in where? Object. Same thing you are reflecting in object. Whatever the measurements you are giving here, same measurements with that what will come? Object will come. Are you able to follow? You gave for stitching of your shirt and that size is called 40. Will they prepare 45 size? Whatever you gave your physical measurements, same thing will they stitch or not? Will they stitch anything extra, more and less or something? That means what you gave, that will be reflecting to your physical object. That means whatever is there in the class, same thing will reflect in where? Object. I hope you are understanding. In class, what you are saying? In class, what you are saying? First, let me tell you. A class is treated as, a class considered as what? Or otherwise, a class is treated as, treated as which existence? Logical existence. Logical existence and object treated as what? Object treated as what? Physical existence. Physical existence. First, you try to satisfy with this. Are you satisfying this? Who are you? Object. You have eyes are there, nose is there, head is there, hands are there, legs are there. That are all called what? Class. Already class student or class human being. Inside what they said? 2 eyes required, 2 hands required, and 2 legs required. One good brain is required to store every Python, NumPy, etc. storage. Everything they give. So where that is mentioned in human being. So human being contains some properties. That properties only will be applicable to everybody or not. So inside the class, what are available? Now I am going to write it. A class is a collection of. A class is a collection of. ఒక డయాగ్రామ్ రాస్తాను ఇప్పుడు. మీరు రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వట్లేదు దానికి. మీరు ఐఎమ్ నాట్ గెటింగ్ యువర్ టాలెంట్. ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు టేక్ అవుట్ యువర్ టాలెంట్, బట్ స్టిల్ spark is not coming. Who are you? Object. Behind object, who is there? Class. So if I come to your college, what student will contain? Every student will contain what? Number. ID. ID. What is ID? One variable. Next is what? Name. Name I am writing. Every student will have a name. Every student will have what? Course. That is a branch. Your branch. Plus every student will contain college name. Like that if I go on writing so many. Are you following? What these are all called? Properties. Generally we call it the properties. These are called data member names. Spell out. Data member names. Data members are nothing but after all variables. In the data member, there are varieties of types are there that I'll enter today if you understand quickly. In ID, what I will create? S is equal to what I am writing? Student is the first student. Do you know in S1 what will come? In S1, what is written here? ID. ID will come where you can store the data. Next, what will come? Name. Name will come. Name I can store. Next, what will come? Course. I will write course also. Whatever you have written inside the class, same thing will be reflecting to where also? Object. So class contains what here? Data members. Data members are nothing but after all variables. Okay now? So data stored in where? Data stored in where? Object. To create an object, what is required? That means storing principles you are specifying in where? Class. That are reflected to where? In student, what I am storing? ID, name, course. Where I specified that ID, name and course? మధుబాబులు ఏం రాదు అసలు మీకు అసలు. That I am specifying in where? Student. These things ID, name, course, where I specified already? Student. That only reflecting to where? Object. ఏం రాదు అసలు. Coming to this now. E1 is equal to what? Employee. E1 is equal to employee. What is this employee is called? So in E1, what I want to store? I am designing now. In E1, I am designing employee. Employee. Inside the employee, I decided to store EID. Next is called E name. Next is called salary. Next is called designation. What these are all called? Data members. So whenever I create E1, what are coming? Those things are asking you. EID. Next is called what? E name. Next is called what? Sal. Next is called designation. Suppose if I don't write sal and designation, how many things are available? Only two things. Whatever the data members I mentioned inside the class, same thing only will be coming in where? E1 object. So in order to get the data members in E1, what you want to store it in that object? That you have to decide in where only? Class. Anything entered into the brain? Huh? Last and final. Class. God created how human beings should look like. Already God decided very long back, some 1,000 years back. What is that? 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, 1 big brain. Next what? 1 heart. Next, all the things is mentioned. These are all called what? Data members inside the human being. H is equal to what? Human being. Human. In H, what are the details available? Height, weight, color, everything is available, right or not? These are all called what? Data members of which class? That are available with every object. Every person will have eyes. Every person will have nose. Every person will have legs, hands, and color, weight, height. Everything is available or not? These are called what? Data members. Beginning data members are mentioned in where? Class. That are reflected to what? Object. Are you following? Right. I want to design 6-seater car, or I want to design 4-seater car. 2 passengers, 1 co-passenger, 1 driver. So in my model of the class, how many seats are there? 4. 3. ఇప్పుడు 4 అని చెప్తాను మళ్ళీ 3. All scientists are there in my class. How many seats? 4. Where I am specifying that in my model I am saying, when I send it to that model for manufacturing unit, they will prepare how many seats? 4 only. Will they prepare 6 seats? Huh? If we prepare 6 seats, this customer will not take that. Why design 6 seats? Only 4 seats I want. So where is that 4 is mentioned first in the class? First time I am saying these many examples. What is the class? A class is a collection of data members. That many data members are reflecting to what? Object. Okay. You are taking data members which are reflecting to object, and the data stored in where? Data stored in where? Object. In the form of what? Data members. You are keeping your books in where? Bag lo kaadu. In the partitions of the bag. Correct or not? In the bag, in the partitions of the bag. In that partition is called what? Data member 1. Next partition, data member 2. Next partition, data member 3. Next partition, data member 4. What is the data member 1, data member 2, data member 3, data member 4 are called partitions inside the object. These data members are mentioned in where? Class. So you are storing the data in where? Data members of what? Object. These data members are already mentioned in where? Class. Class is a collection of what? Data members. The data members doesn't have the memory space with the class, that are coming with the memory space in where? Object. Object. Are you okay? Myself tired by saying all these. I'm thinking what examples. My examples over now. Still, if you don't know, I will take to Himalayas now. Compulsory. Now, because there are some rishis are there, I will hand over to you. So they will give some food for you. They will send it to Hyderabad once again. That time you will set right. Now, come to the point of it. Okay, data stored in where? Data members of object. On the data members, you need to do some operation now. Operation. To do operations, what I need? Functions required. Class. Functions required. Functions needed. List functions are different. Dict functions are different. Set functions are different. Union function is there in list. Append function is there in set. No, they are having separate functions are there or not? So car function is containing what? Wheel controlling, steering controlling, clutch change, increasing the speed, etc. When you go to that, bike, do you have wheel steering and everything is there? No. You have handle is there. Their wheel is there, right or not? Steering is there. So this is same driving only, but properties are different or not? So I mean to say, to perform the operations on the data members of an object, you need functions. That functions also you are specifying in where? Class only. So class contains what? Data members, functions that are clubbed together in one unit. That unit is called class. When I create an object with respect to that class, that object will capture the data members plus what? Functions. So inside the object, who is there? Data member storage plus functions that are actually mentioned in where? Class. Correct? So what is the definition of class? A class is a collection of data members plus methods. Class is a collection of data members plus methods. In data members, 2 types are there. In methods, 3 types are there. Inside the class, 5 types are there. Instance data members, class level data members, instance method, class level method, static method. Methods are of 3 types. Data members are of 2 types. Totally 5 types are there inside the class. In the next level, if I go to the advanced level, Inside the class, there is a constructor is also there. Inside the constructor, there is a default constructor. There is a parameterized constructor. Inside the class, if I go to still advanced, destructor is also there. Destructor relates to the garbage collector. That garbage collector, I said the definition that I am going to show practically in the class. This much you have to learn it. A class is a collection of instance data members, class level data members, instance method, static method, class level method, default constructor, parameterized constructor, destructor. There are 8 things are there inside the class. If somebody asks a class definition outside, all laymen are there walking in Amirpet. A class is a collection of objects, I'll say it's a blunder. If they ask me what is the definition of class, I will tell this definition. A class is a collection of instance data member, class level data member, instance method, class level method, static method, default constructor, parameterized constructor, destructor. Interviewer will wonder. You will ask 8 questions compulsory. What is instance data member? I will tell 6 points in that, and you will not ask any questions. Okay, take offer letter, you will say. And you have to explain such a deep knowledge is required. Learning like everybody and completing the course, no meaning, students. Already so many engineers are there in Hyderabad. If you go to other states also, so many are there. In Hyderabad, only 530 engineering colleges are there. All engines only, no water inside. All engines only, the totally out of order engines only. Now coming to the point, because we don't want to comment because we are all engineering students. It will be going out of order. Coming to the point of it. A class is a collection of what? Come on, fast. Data members and what? Methods. And what? Methods. When we define a class, now I'm going to say, when we define a class, come on, when we define a class, what happens? No memory space is created for data members and method and methods. But whose memory space is created? Whose memory space is created? Memory space is created. Whose memory space is created? Whose memory space is created? When we create, when we create an object with respect to what? With respect to what name? Class name. With respect to what name? Class name. Are you able to follow? Are you able to follow? With respect to what name? Class name. Class name. Are you able to follow, students? Now, a class is treated as what? Logical existence. And object is treated as what? Physical existence. And one more point I want to say. What are all the data members? What are all the data members? What are all the data members and the methods we specify inside of class, they are reflected, or what? They are reflected or appeared as it is in the object with the memory space. This is the speciality. With what? Memory space. So that we can store the data, so that we can store. Come on, I want to fill this. I want to store the data in. Muddabavali, ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పాలి? Data members of object, and we can perform operations on the data members, of object with by using corresponding functions. In OOPS, functions are known as what? Methods. In OOPS, functions are called method. Functions are called what? Methods. Now, I'm going to write it. What are all the data members and methods we specify inside the class? They are reflected or appeared as it is in the object with the memory space, so that we can store the data in the data members of object and we can perform operations on the data members of the object by using corresponding methods. That is in OOPS functions are called. This is also one small question because beginning in the demos, people will ask what is the difference between method and function. Demo level, lot of excitement is there because they don't know now half knowledge is more dangerous. No, when the subject clarity is coming, no doubts will come. But when you understand, beginning, lot of doubts will come. Beginning, when I used to take up classes, 20 people will raise the hand. Now, after the classes are started, any doubts, one or two, if any chance, some days no doubts will be there. So, no doubts will be there in the sense, two reasons. One is completely understanding, no doubts. One is not at all understanding, no doubts. Two, I don't know which area you belongs to. So, coming to the point back, are you able to understand this? Did you understand this last point? If anybody asks about what is the class, you have to say this entire points. So this is no need to learn tons of theory. This is more than enough. Shall I move forward? So I did not get much confidence on you. Only 85% confidence is there in my brain by seeing your faces. To go to the further, I need to ask some question. What is the use of class concept? ఇక్కడ రాశాను కదా మొదబోలు టు డెవలప్ ప్రోగ్రామర్ డిఫైన్ డేటా టైప్ ప్లస్ టు బిల్డ్ రియల్ టైమ్ అప్లికేషన్. What is the use of developing programmer defined data type? For customized data storage plus to perform customized operations. To develop the programmer defined data type using classes concept, we use which keyword? Class keyword. Class keyword. What is the class? Is the definition of class. What is a class? That's why if an interviewer is asking what is a class, you have to ask, sir, are you asking purpose of class? Definition of class? Or class? You have to say, that's why you tell about class. You say about class, I will tell three things you say like that. Number one, purpose. Number two, keyword. Number three, definition. Interviewer also feel, who is this beautiful student who is speaking clearly like this? You have to give much impression to the interviewer. Whatever you like it, whatever is there in the brain, you just don't throw it on the face of the interviewer. Qualifying in interview means what? With the subject, you are winning the heart of the interviewer. Correct or not? Yes. So, coming to the point back, here I am going to say definition of class. Are you able to get it? Fine. Shall I move forward now? So now I am going to say same concept applicable in Java, C++, C#.NET, Python, all the places. This is a classes concept. Mayank is one student in our class. He learned C#.NET already in his background already before coming to my class. I will just ask him, Mayank, yes, you are there. Did you learn this much clearly in your previous time? Just one survey. Right. So after listening this, what did you feel about? How much difference is there between your previous class concept and my class? Difference, percentage of difference. How much you are getting higher here? Just for the sake of the survey. Okay, no comparison. And no comparison means below comparison, above comparison. So no comparison means I have much comparison, no words to describe. But you audience also must get now. So okay. Okay. Thank you. Now I'll move to the further. So now I'll move to the further. Okay. Now I will go to in Python, how to define the class. How to define the class. Now I am going to tell you. Syntax for defining the class. Syntax for defining class. In which language? Come on. Python. Now I am going to take up. Syntax for defining Syntax for defining a class in Python. Now I'm going to take up. Syntax differs from one language to another language. Syntax will differ from one language to another language. Now I'm going to take up. Now, you only tell me. I don't tell the syntax. You only tell me. I already explained the concept. Come on. Very good. Class. Why class? Is a keyword. Next. Beautiful. Class name. Class name. Class name. Okay. There is a indentation symbol. Indentation symbol. Why indentation symbol? Class will contain data members plus what? Indentation symbol. Ever indentation symbol followed by dash. Indentation block of statements. మీరు ఏం మాట్లాడినా తప్పేది. The moment when you open your mouth is a wrong only. So come to the point of it. Class name. Class name. I'll say this indentation block of symbols. Indentation block of symbols. Now I will write. What is actually writing here? Data members. And next what are we writing? Methods. Data members and what? Methods. Now I'm going to take up. We should not write like that, but there is some system of syntaxes are there here. Now I'm writing. Let me write the complete syntax of a class. If any interviewer is asking define a syntax of a class, I will define like this. Watch it. I will write it. Don't worry about it. Class level data members. Class level data members. I'll write it. Full syntax I will explain, students. Carefully try to follow. Class level data members. I'll explain what is the meaning of class level data members in the class. DEF instance method name. I forget to tell you one small thing. Let me write it and I will tell you. Self comma list of formal params. List of formal params if any. I will write it. There I will write it. Some block of statements will write it. Block of statements performs. Block of statements performs specific operations. I will explain them. Specific operations. And moreover, I can also write it. Specify instance data members. I will give you complete description about all these things with the programs. Right. So this is about the instance method. At the same time, I'll talk about that instance method so perfectly. So many examples I'll tell you. At the same time, I am writing @ symbol. Have you seen @ symbol in my class? What is it? What is it? @ symbol have you seen in my class? Last Saturday class? Decorator. What is the decorator? Decorator is a decorator. Decorator is one of the function which will provide additional processing capability to the normal function. Writing in function inside the function is called a decorative syntax. Outside function name is a decorator. Inside function name is providing additional functionality to the normal function, which brought as a parameter to the outside function. Syntax, remember? Explain the syntax in your English. That is the subject. While I am explaining, I'll keep my syntax in my brain. According to that, I will explain. I'll show the coding also. That is called programming. Kada? When you are going to the home, nobody will show the come this side, come this side. Already in your mind, some route is there or not. That route only you are following. Subject also like that only. Easy. To do that, you need to have full preparation in the subject. For example, you take me. While I am coming to my class, I will think today, how easily I will tell more concept to my student. That is what is called as on today Reels. Reels is coming now. Reels means what? More content easily how student can understand. But student will not see the Python Reels. They will see some reels of models, dresses, something like that. Come to that. Leave that student. If I started thinking about it, it's a problem. @ class method. @ class method. What is this @ class method? predefined decorator. Spell out predefined decorator. So we developed a decorator, but we are using predefined decorator. Easy or difficult? Easy. This decorator will make my method as what? DEF, class level method name. Class level method name of what? CLS, comma what? List of formal parameters, if any. List of formal parameters, if any. I will write it here, block of statements. I will write it here, block of statements. Performs common operation. Performs what operation? Common operation. Common operation. And specify what? Class level data members. Specify class level data members. I will write it. So don't worry about all these things. By seeing all these things, you will get much tension. Don't worry. You are inside of my class. I'll take care of everything. Take care. This is about what method? Class method. I will take next one more thing. One more thing. At the rate what? Static method. At the rate concept is what? After at the rate, if we write something that is known as what? Decorator. Compulsory question that is. Decorator definition, decoration syntax is important. Next, DEF. What is this now? Static method name. Static method name of what? List of what? Formal parameters. No self and CLS. List of what? Formal params. If any. If any. I will write it what? Block of statements. Block of statements. Block of statements. Performs. Performs universal operations. Universal operations. Universal or utility operations. I'll write utility. Utility. Do you know utility? Utility, do you know the meaning of utility operations? Do you know? You don't know? Huh? You know, you don't know. Okay. So, no problem. No problem. This is about what? Class related. After that, I can write it what? DEF underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. I can write it. I will write some block of statements. Later, I will write it what you know, DEF underscore underscore init underscore underscore of self. I will write a list of formal params. List of formal params, I will write it. Some statements, I will write it. Further, I will write it what you know, DEF underscore underscore del, I will write it. Underscore underscore del, I will write it. I will write a garbage collection related code. This is a complete syntax of a class. If I go to an interview, what is the syntax of a class? If I write everything, you will ask so many questions on that. Every question is ready to answer. So this part, I don't want to say, I don't want to confuse you because you are a very dedicated student, most famous student you are. Now I want to go for this syntax one by one. Shall we start? Yes. In Python, now I'm going to write in Python to develop, to define a class, we use the following syntax. We use the following syntax. Are you able to follow now? This is a syntax. Here I would like to go for what are the types of data members inside the class. Just now I said to you the overall diagrammatic format you remember, ma? What is the definition of class? You tell me. A class is a collection of what? Data members as well as what? Methods, as well as methods. So first I will clarify what? Data members. Two types are there. One is what? Class level data member. Level kaadu, class level data member. One more is called what? Instance data member. How many types of data members? Spell out. Class level data members, instance data member. Methods are of how many types? Three types. Number one, spell out. Instance method name, class level method name, static method name. How many types of methods? Three types. How many types of data members? All combined together is there inside the class. I'll tell you what the purpose of each and everything. Let me take without any difficulty. Let us take. I have 600 students with me. Every student will contain what? Number, name, marks, course. Correct? When I am storing 600 students data, number, name, marks, separate memory space I will create or not? Why? They are specific data. Number, name, marks are specific data. So separate memory space need to create or not? But course, I won't write Python 600 times. I don't write Python. For 600 people, what is the common value? Course name is a common, correct or not? Would you like to store the same course Python again and again? How many times I will write? One time. So whichever data member want to store by yourself as one time memory space you want to create, go for class level data member. Whichever data member memory space you want to create again and again for every person, go for what? Instance data member. Understood that? Common values recommended to be stored in where? Class level data member. Specific values are recommended to store it in where? That's all. Now I'm asking some example, answer my question. Online students, are you getting? Are you getting, students? Is every person is understanding that? Respond everybody. Now, coming to the point back. Now I'm going to ask you the questions. Employee number, employee name, salary, and company name. First you analyze. In a company, lot of employees are working or not? Employee number separate from one another. Name is separate. Salary is separate. But company name is same. What is the common value there? Company name. What are the specific values there? Employee number, employee name, and then what? Sal. So employee number, employee name, sal are called instance data member. Company name is called what? That's all. How to define them? I'll tell you. In C#.NET also same. Java also same. Python also same. C++ also same. But understanding is important. Understand? Now, one more example. You are a citizen of India. You are requiring Aadhaar card number, citizen name, citizen age, citizen date of birth, country name. Country name. Tell me what is the class level data member here? Country name. Rest of them are what? Instance data members. Statica. Instance data member. Question reverse again. Country name is what? Class level. Rest of the details. Aadhaar card number, name, date of birth or what? That's all. Last and final. You are studying in a college. In your college, some 1,000 students are there. What is different? Number, name. Your branch is different. But what is same? College name. What is the college name is called? Class level. Number, name and branch are what? That's all. Under university, so many students are there of all different colleges. That time number, name, marks, college name and university name. What is the common value for everybody? University name is called what? Class level. Next, other things are what? That's all. How many types of data members? Number one, class level data member, instance data member. Clarity is there? Right. Instance data members are used for storing which data? Specific data. Class level data members are used for storing which data? Common data. Second difference. Instance data members stores specific data now, specific data. So they need memory space to create every time. Every time memory space will be created for what? Instance data members. Memory space of instance data members created every time when we create an object. When a new employee coming, number will be given, name will be given, salary will be given, but company name is already there. Correct or not? Next, class level data member. Class level data member memory space will be created once, irrespective of number of objects you create. When you joined in the class, you have a number is there for you. Your name, your marks, everything is separate. But course name already designed or not? List of Python student. Python already written once. If I write again and again, what will happen? You are not a good programmer that time. Sir, you may ask a question. Can't I write the common value again and again? If you write common value again and again, it takes a lot of memory space now. So why Python, why whoops are very strong? They designed certain principles for you. If you follow that principles as it is, you will get what? Efficient memory space. So instance data members memory space created every time when we create an object. But class level data members memory space will be created only once, irrespective of number of objects are created. Clear? Good. Instance data members are always available with object. When an object is created, values will be placed. Your object values are different. My object values are different. Somebody's object values are different. We are all living in Hyderabad. City name is what? For everybody, Hyderabad only. But everybody details are different or not? So being an object, we have your own number details, my own details, your own details, somebody's details are different. But city name is common or not? So whose city name memory space created how many times? One time only. So instance data members are always available with whom? Object. Class level data members are not available with object name. That is the third difference. Fourth difference. Instance data members must be accessed with respect to object name. Suppose my number I want kvr.no. kvr is called what? Object. .no. Next is what? Lohit Kumar. Lohit.no. Kavita.no. Swati.no. What is that? KVR, Lohit, KVR, Swati, Kavita, all these people are what? Objects. .no. So object name .no. Object name .name. Object name .marks. These are all called what? Instance data members accessed with respect to what? Object name. We can also access with respect to one more is also there, self. Self is also there. What is self? Self is there. Self is there. Anybody knows? Selfism. Giridharan is saying keyword that I am expecting. Self is a keyword. Giridharan. Giridharan. Not only Giridharan, most of the people, even in internet also you search it, they will say keyword. That is a blunder. Now you want to go for it. This is what is the first thing I want to change your mindset. Look at keyword. Keyword means already you know how to prove it. Self is equal to Giridharan. See. Accepted or not? Accepted. Muddubavu. If is equal to 12, error. Else is equal to what? 4.5, error. Because if else are what? Keywords. Self is equal to what? 34, accepted. Self is the keyword, huh? Giridharan, come on. Come on to the topic. Self is what? Print of what? Here I am writing. So, print of what? Self. Self, comma, type of self. You see, it is going to be what? Self is not a keyword. It is treated as an object of which one? Int. Self is equal to what? Self is equal to Giri. Giri I am writing. Print of self, it is an str. Self is a keyword. One more proof. Giridharan. Import. Keyword. Already as K. Print of what? K dot. KW list. Keyword is a module. When you come to Python class, module is only your work. Do you have anywhere else a self is there? Do you have anywhere else a self is there? No, Giri. No. So is self is a keyword. You open any internet website, any website, forest websites. Self is a keyword they will write. Will the keyword? Suppose a student will believe that and they will learn self is a keyword and you will come to my interview and I'll ask what is a self. You will say immediately, just now I read now, self is a keyword. And being a person of mine, I will open the system. I will open my laptop. See, keyword means what? it will be taking error. No keywords to be used as what? Variable name. Myself only will tell you the rule. Self is also used a keyword, na? But it is accepting or not? Accepting. I will show moreover, if you did not convince, I'll show the keywords of Python and I'll show where is your self, I will say. Where is your self? And you will lose yourself. Finally, what you will say? Who is this danger person? And showing everything practically. And internet is written, self is a keyword. And what to believe, what not to believe. Which one you will believe? Practically will believe. Internet theory will believe. Practical answers are required. So come to the point of it. Giridharan. So now unlearning now, sir. Unlearning now. So self is not a keyword. And Giridharan, yesterday you said in Java also, you said, I'm still remembering, this is a keyword, he said. This is also not keyword because I'm not going to Java side. I'm not going to Java side. So yesterday, oh, you said yesterday or not? So this is not a keyword. Yes, I'm remembering that. Not only Giri, most of the people who are going here and there, this is a keyword. Their faculties also will tell, it's a blunder. Self also they will say keyword, it's a blunder. You have to show like this. And don't think that whatever you learn, that is a correct. Whoever is showing practically in the class, that is correct. Correct? That's why, students. So many things correct now, sir. Oh, yes, like that. Coming to the point back. Now, what are the things you learned? Class instance data members must be accessed with respect to object name. You can also access with respect to what? Self. Sir, what is a self? I will tell you. Easily, I will tell you. When you are going on the way in the hot summer, when you are going on the way, just one analogy to connect to my subject. When you are going on the way, along with you, who is following? Shadow. What is that shadow? Is yourself. What is that shadow? Is an object of your physical object. Is an object of your physical object. That shadow is called implicit object to the physical object. Address of your physical object is equal to the ID of self. If I print the ID of self plus what? ID of physical object, both of them are same. Sir, how to use it in the programming of hoops? That is an important. If self is clear now, your self is clear. If self is not clear, your bike will not start. You lose yourself. You know, self means press the button, start. Sometimes this will not on. That is because it loses itself. So like that, I'll explain the meaning of what? Here you see self. I think you are understanding the meaning of what? Instance data member and class level data member. Is it clear? Now, when you come to class level data member, class level data members can be accessed in 4 ways. Actually, 2 ways and 1 way is enough for you. Class level data members are not available as a part of object. Class level data members access with respect to what? Class name directly. 1 way is enough. But I don't stop it because I want to tell my total knowledge to you. Because when you go to an interview, yourself and myself will go. You'll say only 1 way. I'll tell to interviewer, don't take that candidate. Take me. Why should I take you? You say, sir, he said only 1 technique. I'll tell 4 techniques. Definitely, they like performance. Correct or not? That's why learning everything is an asset for you. And memorizing everything is like that. I will call the class level data member either with respect to class name, next with respect to object name, next with respect to self, one more is with respect to CLS. Self means don't overthink about it. Self is nothing but what? It is an implicit object of what? Physical object. Are you following me? Simple. When you see in the mirror, you are seeing in the mirror, correct? You are available in how many forms? 1 form only. But another mirror also one image is there or not? What is that mirror image? Self of physical person. Self of physical person. Same as this will be visible. But do you have 2 copies? No, 1 copy only. But it is visible many times. So that I will explain with more practical things in the class. So next I will introduce. Here I am going to start with types of data members. Types of data members. Types of data members in a class of Python. in a class of Python. So that I am going to discuss. So because time is now 7:36, next tomorrow class, whatever I said that 4 differences, I will write it and practically showing, after showing, then I will write the differences. Okay now. So today, what did you understand? What is a class? How to define a syntax? And how many types of data members I explained. Practically, I will show you tomorrow class. So 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Tomorrow, don't miss that. Very, very important concept. Thank you, students. All the best. Don't miss tomorrow class. Important. Online students. Any doubts you have? Your you can raise your hands. I will clarify your session. Any doubts you have? I will clarify. You can raise your hands. No doubts, students? No doubts, sir? Okay. If no doubts are there, I'll just upload the notes and you go through it. And tomorrow I will continue practically. Thank you, students. All the best. Good night. Don't miss tomorrow class, 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Continue the sessions. Thank you, students. All the best.